Peace be upon you. Assalamu alaikum. Before I begin the CAIR Michigan update, for those of you who did not hear the news, yesterday evening there was a tragedy in our Muslim community by a young woman, 32 years old, named Shema Al-Awadi, who died after suffering a brutal beating. A letter was left next to her blood-soaked body saying, "Leave this country, you terrorists." This took place in Southern California. Shema Al-Awadi is just like Trayvon Martin, who was gunned down in Sanford, Florida. The same bigoted mentality that shot and killed Trayvon Martin is the same bigoted mentality that killed Shema. One was wearing a hoodie in black, one Iraqi wearing hijab. So I ask our Lord, Allah Azza wa Jal, to accept her as a martyr and grant her the highest place in paradise. And I ask Allah Azza wa Jal to grant mercy and patience for the families of Trayvon Martin as well as for the family of Sister Shema. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina wa Nabiyyina wa Shafi'ina Muhammad al-Amin wa ala alihi al-tahirin wa sahbihi al-mukhlisin wa tabi'ina lahum bi khairin wa ihsanin ila yawm ad-din wa amma ba'd. CAIR Michigan has been at the forefront in advocating for civil liberties and fighting against the disease of Islamophobia here in the state of Michigan for over a decade. But I'm not here to really talk with you about what CAIR Michigan has done per se in the last year or in the last 10 plus years. I'm really here to introduce to you a broader vision of what we at CAIR Michigan are striving towards in refining the means of education of how we discuss Muslims and Islam to the broader public and to elected officials, a new means and better means of advocating, and as well as initiating, not just joining, but initiating litigation from our office that will influence the civil rights landscape of all of these United States of America, not just affecting American Muslims. So let me give you 3 points regarding this vision. One of these is that we at CAIR Michigan have devised an advanced speakers training bureau that not just trains speakers in our community about how to give Islam 101 speeches, but a very professional, well thought out way of challenging point by point the contemporary talking points that Islamophobes are using in the public discourse, and those same talking points are influencing elected officials. And at the same time, we are better training people in our community how to advocate for our issues in Lansing and as well as in Washington, D.C. through this training. For instance, last year, State Representative, a Republican in Granville by the name of Dave Ejima, brought forth a restriction of foreign laws bill, which was really a cloaked anti-Sharia bill that was introduced in the state of Michigan. We at CAIR Michigan organized our community from Detroit to Lansing, from Canton to Kalamazoo, gave them the talking points. They called elected officials, state reps, state senators. We met with the chair of the State House Judiciary Committee. And with the blessing of God, this anti-Sharia bill did not even make it out of committee. We stopped the bill. And not only did we stop this bill, but CAIR Michigan, for the first time, we held a briefing in Lansing in terms of the role of religious law and the United States Constitution. We had an Islamic scholar talk about Sharia. We had a Jewish rabbi in Ann Arbor talk about Judaic law, and we had a Catholic scholar talk about Catholic canon law. We held this briefing. The entire briefing is on YouTube, and we took this briefing video, put it on DVD format, and we sent it to every single state representative and state senator in the great state of Michigan to educate them about what Sharia really is. I would like to first, while I'm on this point, I'd like to salute Representative Harvey Santana from Warrendale District. He's not a Muslim. He stood up in TV. He joined us, along with the NAACP, against the anti-Sharia fearmongers. Representative Santana. And I'd also like to salute my co-worker, Rahim Hanifa, who's the one who organized the anti-Sharia briefing on the Hill. He does a lot of work. He's in the media sometimes, but he is a great asset to our community. Brother Rahim Hanifa. For years as well, CAIR Michigan, we have filed federal complaints with different federal entities, be it from the EEOC to the Civil Rights Department of the Department of Homeland Security to the Justice Department. We have filed complaints regarding workplace discrimination as well as civil rights abuses from federal entities. We've done this for years. But we have also taken our advocacy in regards to our civil rights in challenging government repression by certain entities and discrimination. We've taken it to another level. With the charge led by our staff attorney, Lena Musri, just this year, CAIR Michigan filed through its office our first federal lawsuit in federal court challenging Pittsfield Township for unconstitutionally stopping the zoning of the Michigan Islamic Academy, where these bigots are trying to stop our boys and girls from getting an education. For the first time again, CAIR Michigan did not join another organization like the ACLU or the NAACP, but we have filed a federal lawsuit from CAIR Michigan's office led by our staff attorney, Lena Musri. And I'm here to announce to you that this Thursday in federal court, we are filing a landmark lawsuit against Customs Border Protection, U.S. Border Patrol, and the Federal Bureau of Investigations for religiously profiling our community when we return back from Canada, driving back into the United States of America. Violating our First Amendment and Fifth Amendment rights. Harassing our imams, asking people questions such as, do you pray? How many times a day do you pray? Which mosque do you pray at? Do you pray Salat al-Fajr in the masjid? Who is your sheikh? Even asking questions about how do you feel about a particular verse in the Quran. This is none of the business of Border Patrol and the Federal Bureau of Investigations, and we're going to sue them starting Thursday. In short, brothers and sisters, in faith and in humanity, CAIR Michigan, as our esteemed president says, we have a vision to tear down and dismantle structural racism and bigotry here in these United States of America. Not just to attack civil rights violations from just attacking the symptoms. We're talking about eradicating the entire disease by attacking the actual structures that lead to racial profiling, attacking the structures that lead to religious profiling, attacking the structures that allow for our children to be bullied in school, attacking those structures and those Islamophobes and those bigots who kill innocent Americans like Trayvon Martin and Shema El-Awadi. I'm asking you today for two things. First, the most important, your prayer. Those of you who hear me preach in the mosque every Friday, you hear me mention this hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi wa sallam every Friday around this time of the year. At du'a salahu mu'min wa imadul din wa nur samawati wal ard. The real weapon of the believers in God is prayer. It's not a gun, it's not a nuclear weapon, it's not an AK-47. We believe in the power of God. And if God is with us, we will be successful. This is the first thing I ask you for the day. The second is our esteemed Sheikh Siraj Wahaj is about to come before you, and he's going to tell you a few words and ask you to be generous. So open your hearts and your minds, and with that, may Allah Azza wa Jal reward each and every one of you. May He bless all of your families, and may He bless our great country, the United States of America. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.